Volkswagen VW is embarking on a transformative strategic shift highlighted by its recent decision to divest 5 major European plants. This significant move reflects VW's intensified focus on strengthening partnerships in the booming Chinese automotive market. As the world's largest automotive market, China has seen an influx of competition, particularly from local electric vehicle (EV) manufacturers, prompting VW to reassess its operational footprint and realign its strategies. Key developments: 1. Divestment confirmation. VW's CEO has publicly confirmed ongoing discussions surrounding investments in German plants, signaling a potential emphasis on collaboration with Chinese joint venture JV partners. This strategic pivot is aimed at streamlining operations in response to the rapidly evolving automotive landscape characterized by increasing competition in China. 2. Sale of controversial plant in Xinjiang. In a notable development, VW announced the sale of its plant in Urumqi, Xinjiang, and 2 test tracks located in Turpan and Antiang to Shanghai Motor Vehicle Inspection Certification, a subsidiary of Shanghai Lingang Development Group. This decision is part of VW's strategy to mitigate political risks associated with operating in Xinjiang, a region under international scrutiny due to human rights concerns. The Urumqi plant has remained largely inactive for the past 5 years, prompting VW to cut excess capacity as part of its rationalization efforts. 3. Market realignment. Analysts have highlighted that the divestment of these assets could enable international automakers, including VW, to reduce overall production capacity by as much as 10 million units in China. This adjustment is critical as the market shifts away from traditional petrol vehicles, with electrification becoming the standard. VW's actions are seen as a response to the competitive pressures posed by local manufacturers who have excelled in the EV sector. 4. Economic context. VW's decision to divest is framed within a broader economic rationale. The company has cited economic reasons for the sale, indicating that this strategic pivot is not merely a reaction to external pressures but a calculated move to adapt to changing market dynamics and consumer preferences. Common themes across sources. 1. Strategic realignment. VW's shift towards enhancing partnerships in China is a common thread across all sources, illustrating the company's desire to remain competitive in a market increasingly dominated by local firms adept in EV production. 2. Market pressures. The pressure faced by VW due to declining sales of traditional petrol vehicles is consistently noted, emphasizing the necessity for the company to reassess its operational strategies in both China and Europe. 3. Political considerations. The sale of the Xinjiang plant is universally acknowledged as a strategic move to alleviate concerns regarding political risks, especially in light of global scrutiny regarding human rights practices in the region. Differences among sources. The sources present varied focuses on different aspects of VW's strategic shift. Reuters emphasizes the implications of divestment for VW's operational strategy and potential investments in German plants. In contrast, Yahoo Finance highlights the human rights concerns associated with the Xinjiang plant, framing the sale as a relief for VW amid increasing scrutiny. A third source, which is inaccessible, limits comparative analysis but suggests broader conversations within the automotive community regarding the implications of such a shift. Timeline of events. Late 2024, VW announces the sale of its Xinjiang plant and test tracks, marking a significant step in its strategic realignment to reduce excess capacity and address political risks. January 2025, VW's CEO confirms ongoing discussions with Chinese partners about future investments, indicating a focus on collaboration to adapt to the evolving automotive landscape. Conclusion. In summary, Volkswagen's recent strategic realignment, characterized by the divestment of European plants and a renewed focus on partnerships in China, reflects the company's response to competitive pressures and changing market dynamics. By addressing both economic and political challenges, VW aims to position itself for success in an increasingly electrified automotive industry. as the company navigates this transformative phase. Its ability to adapt and collaborate with local partners in China will be crucial for maintaining its competitive edge in the global automotive market. Volkswagen's decision to divest from 5 major European plants and refocus on partnerships in China reveals several counterintuitive insights about the automotive industry and global economic dynamics. 1. Divestment has a strategic advantage. At first glance, selling off significant production facilities may seem like a retreat or a sign of weakness. However, VW's divestment can be viewed as a strategic maneuver to enhance operational efficiency and prioritize profitable markets. This highlights a counterintuitive aspect of corporate strategy where exiting less profitable segments can lead to greater long-term gains, especially in a rapidly changing industry like automotive manufacturing. 2. Human rights versus economic imperatives. The sale of the plant in Xinjiang, a region embroiled in human rights controversies, appears to be motivated by both ethical concerns and economic pragmatism. While many might assume that companies would prioritize market access over ethical considerations, VW's decision indicates that public perception and political risks are becoming increasingly critical to corporate strategy. This showcases a shift towards corporate responsibility that is driven not only by ethics but also by the need to maintain market viability. 3. Local competition driving global strategy. The shift in VW's focus towards Chinese partnerships may seem counterintuitive in a globalized economy where companies typically seek to maintain control over production and technology. However, the intense competition from local Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers necessitates a collaborative approach. By strengthening ties with local firms, VW is acknowledging that survival in the market may depend on leveraging local expertise and adapting to consumer preferences more quickly than traditional corporate hierarchies allow. 4. Declining petrol vehicle demand. The decision to divest from certain production capabilities aligns with the broader automotive industry's shift from fossil fuel vehicles to electric vehicles (EVs). This transition may seem like an industry-wide consensus, but VW's actions underscore an urgent need to pivot away from historical models of production that are increasingly deemed obsolete. The acknowledgement of this decline is a significant departure from the traditional auto industry's reliance on petrol vehicles, marking a paradigm shift in how automakers view their product lines and market strategies. 5. Economic rationality in a politically charged environment. The framing of the divestment as driven by economic reasons while also addressing political risks illustrates a complex relationship between market forces and geopolitical realities. It may seem counterintuitive that a company would prioritize divesting from politically sensitive regions, but this decision reflects an acute awareness of the potential for backlash that could affect sales and brand reputation globally. This indicates a more sophisticated understanding of market dynamics where economic and political considerations are increasingly intertwined. 6. Capacity reduction as a competitive strategy. The anticipation that international automakers may reduce their production capacity by up to 10 million units in response to changing market dynamics highlights a counterintuitive strategy where cutting back could actually strengthen market positions. This suggests that maintaining high capacity in a declining market can be counterproductive, leading companies to rethink their operational strategies to achieve more sustainable growth. 7. Partnerships over competition. The shift towards enhancing partnerships with Chinese firms may appear as a concession, suggesting that VW is unable to compete independently. However, this strategic pivot reflects an understanding that in a landscape dominated by rapid technological advances and shifting consumer preferences, collaboration can be more advantageous than competition. This redefinition of competitive strategy suggests that the future of the automotive industry may rely on partnerships that foster innovation and agility. In summary, Volkswagen's divestment of European plants and its strategic shift towards the Chinese market reveal a complex interplay of market dynamics, ethical considerations, and competitive strategies that challenge traditional notions of corporate behavior in the automotive industry. These counterintuitive insights illustrate how companies must navigate an increasingly complex landscape where adaptability, collaboration, and ethical considerations become essential components of successful business strategies. Volkswagen's recent decision to divest 5 major European plants in favor of strengthening its partnerships within the Chinese automotive sector is a strategic pivot that some observers may overlook. While the broader themes of market competition and political pressures are often highlighted, several nuanced aspects of this shift bear significant implications for the automotive industry and the global market landscape. Here are the critical points that merit deeper attention. 1. Long-term implications for global manufacturing footprints. The divestment of European plants signifies a potential shift in how automakers structure their global manufacturing operations. By moving production capacity to regions with more favorable market conditions, like China, which is rapidly advancing in electric vehicle EV technology, VW is not just reacting to current pressures but is also laying the groundwork for a future where market dynamics could further evolve. This shift may catalyze a broader trend where Western automakers reconsider their reliance on traditional manufacturing hubs in Europe, potentially reshaping global supply chains and competitive advantages. 2. Human rights and corporate responsibility. The sale of VW's plant in Xinjiang highlights the increasingly complex relationship between businesses and human rights issues. While VW's decision to divest from a region under scrutiny for alleged human rights violations might appear as a straightforward economic move, it also reflects the growing pressure on multinational corporations to address ethical considerations in their operations. This aspect is often overshadowed by discussions of market share and competitiveness, but it signifies a critical juncture for corporate responsibility. The ramifications of such actions could influence how other companies approach their investments in politically sensitive areas, potentially leading to a re-evaluation of corporate ethics in global business practices. 3. Impact on European labor markets. The divestment of major plants in Europe raises questions about the future of labor markets within the automotive sector. While the immediate focus might be on VW's operational efficiency and strategic partnerships, the long-term consequences for employment in Europe are significant. The closure or sale of these plants could lead to job losses and economic instability in regions heavily reliant on automotive manufacturing. This aspect is often overlooked in favor of more immediate financial analyses. Yet it poses important social implications that could influence public policy and labor relations in the European Union. 4. Strategic partnerships with Chinese firms. VW's shift towards enhancing its partnerships with Chinese automotive manufacturers is not merely a reaction to declining market shares but also a strategic maneuver to tap into the innovations emerging from the local industry. The growing prominence of local EV manufacturers in China reflects a more profound transformation within the automotive landscape where agility and technological advancement are paramount. This strategic pivot suggests that VW recognizes the necessity of collaboration over competition in an era where rapid technological advancements are reshaping consumer expectations. The significance of these partnerships could redefine how traditional automakers approach innovation and market entry strategies in rapidly evolving markets. 5. Electrification and changing consumer preferences. The context of electrification is vital to understanding VW's divestment strategy. As consumers increasingly shift towards EVs, the traditional petrol vehicle market is diminishing, prompting automakers to adapt. VW's decision to divest from less profitable manufacturing facilities aligns with a broader industry trend towards electrification and sustainability. However, the depth of this transition, how quickly automakers can pivot and align their production capabilities with consumer preferences, may be underestimated. VW's actions indicate an awareness that the future of automotive sales will hinge significantly on the ability to innovate and respond to changing consumer demands, particularly in a market as competitive as China. 6. Potential for market consolidation. The divestment indicates a potential consolidation in the automotive sector, particularly among international players struggling to maintain relevance in the Chinese market. If VW successfully streamlines its operations and enhances its partnerships, it may set a precedent for other automakers facing similar pressures. This consolidation could lead to fewer competitors in the market, potentially impacting pricing strategies and innovation rates. The significance of this potential market consolidation is profound, as it may dictate the future landscape of the global automotive industry. 7. Geopolitical considerations. Lastly, the geopolitical ramifications of VW's strategic shift are crucial yet often overlooked. As tensions between Western nations and China evolve, the automotive industry's response could serve as a barometer for broader economic relations. VW's divestment from a politically sensitive region may reflect a desire to navigate these turbulent waters more safely. Understanding the geopolitical context of these business decisions adds another layer of complexity to the analysis, emphasizing the interconnectedness of international politics and corporate strategy. In conclusion, while the divestment of VW's European plants in favor of focusing on partnerships in China may seem like a straightforward business decision, it encapsulates a range of significant implications that extend beyond immediate financial outcomes. The interplay of strategic realignment, ethical considerations, labor market impacts, and geopolitical dynamics paints a complex picture of the challenges and opportunities facing the automotive industry in the coming years. These aspects warrant careful attention, as they will shape the future landscape of global automotive manufacturing and its alignment with changing consumer and market demands. 1. Strategic realignment and focus on China. Volkswagen's decision to divest 5 major European plants signifies a profound strategic shift towards enhanced partnerships in China, the world's largest automotive market. This realignment is a response to declining market share and intensified competition from local electric vehicle (EV) manufacturers. The company's focus is on creating synergies with Chinese joint venture partners, indicating a long-term strategy to adapt to the rapidly evolving automotive landscape dominated by electrification and local innovation. 2. Political and ethical considerations. The sale of the controversial Urumqi plant in Xinjiang highlights the intersection of business strategy with political and ethical considerations. The divestment alleviates concerns over human rights violations in the region, as international scrutiny of companies operating in Xinjiang has intensified. By divesting from this politically sensitive area, VW not only mitigates risks associated with potential backlash but also aligns its operational practices with global ethical standards, enhancing its corporate social responsibility profile in the eyes of consumers and stakeholders. 3. Market dynamics and capacity rationalization. Analysts predict that the divestment of VW's assets could lead to a significant reduction in production capacity among international automakers, potentially by up to 10 million units in China. This rationalization reflects an urgent need to adapt to market conditions where traditional petrol vehicles are increasingly unpopular. The accelerated pace of electrification in China necessitates a shift in production strategies, and VW's divestments are a proactive measure to align its operational capabilities with the current and future demands of the market. 4. Economic context and strategic pivot. VW's divestment is framed within a broader economic rationale, emphasizing the necessity of adapting to changing market dynamics. The company cited economic reasons for the sale of its plants, indicating that this strategic pivot is not solely a reaction to external pressures but a calculated move to strengthen its competitive position in a market that is rapidly evolving. This highlights the importance of economic viability in strategic decision-making for global automotive players as they navigate challenges posed by shifting consumer preferences and competitive landscapes. 1. General Motors divestment in Europe 2009 to 2010. In the wake of the global financial crisis, General Motors (GM) faced severe financial difficulties and was forced to restructure its operations. As part of this restructuring, GM decided to divest several European assets, including its Swedish subsidiary Saab and a significant stake in its German subsidiary Opel. The divestment aimed to focus on core markets and reduce operational costs. GM ultimately sold Opel to a consortium led by Canadian auto parts manufacturer Magna International in 2009, marking a significant shift in GM's European strategy. 2. Ford's closure of European plants 2012 to 2013. Ford Motor Company announced the closure of several plants in Europe as part of a major restructuring effort to stem losses in the region. In 2012, Ford revealed plans to close its assembly plant in Southampton, UK and the Dagenham plant which produced engines. This decision was driven by declining demand for traditional vehicles and the need to adapt to an evolving market similar to Volkswagen's current challenges in China. Ford's strategy focused on consolidating operations and investing in more profitable areas, including electric and hybrid vehicles. 3. Nissan's withdrawal from the Australian market 2020. Nissan announced its withdrawal from the Australian market in 2020 as part of a broader strategy to streamline its global operations. The decision was influenced by declining sales and increased competition in the Australian automotive market. Nissan's exit involved the closure of its local manufacturing facility in Victoria and a shift towards focusing on markets where it could be more competitive. This strategic realignment reflects similar themes to Volkswagen's current divestment strategy as both companies seek to respond to changing market dynamics and pressures. Future outlook: Volkswagen's strategic shift and the automotive landscape. Volkswagen's VW decision to divest 5 major European plants and focus on partnerships in the Chinese automotive market marks a crucial juncture in the company's strategy. As the automotive landscape evolves rapidly, several predictions can be made regarding VW's future trajectory and the broader implications for the industry. 1. Increased partnerships and collaborations in China. With the divestment of European plants, VW will likely accelerate its partnerships with Chinese firms. This shift is not only about reducing operational costs but also about leveraging local expertise in electric vehicle EV technology and market penetration. Expect to see VW deepen its ties with existing joint venture partners like SAIC Motor and potentially explore new collaborations with emerging Chinese EV startups. This could lead to the co-development of vehicles tailored to the preferences of Chinese consumers, especially in the EV segment. 2. Focus on electrification and sustainable technologies. As global demand for EVs continues to rise, VW is expected to intensify its investment in electrification. The company has already committed to significant EV production targets. In the coming years, VW will likely allocate more resources toward research and development of battery technologies and sustainable manufacturing processes. This focus will be crucial for maintaining competitiveness against nimble local manufacturers in China and the growing pressure from global players like Tesla. 3. Reallocation of manufacturing resources. The divestment of European plants may lead to a strategic reallocation of VW's manufacturing resources. By optimizing its production footprint, the company might enhance efficiency and reduce costs. Expect VW to streamline operations by focusing on fewer, more advanced facilities that can produce both traditional combustion engines and EVs, thereby maintaining flexibility in production based on market demand. 4. Adaptation to regulatory changes. As governments worldwide ramp up their commitments to reduce carbon emissions, VW will need to adapt quickly to changing regulatory landscapes. This may include meeting stricter emissions standards and investing in carbon-neutral technologies. VW's shift towards China can be interpreted as a proactive measure to align with the country's aggressive EV goals and regulatory frameworks, suggesting that the company is preparing for a future where sustainability is paramount. 5. Potential for market share recovery in China. By divesting non-core assets and focusing on strategic partnerships, VW may position itself to recover some of the market share it has lost to local competitors in China. The burgeoning EV market presents significant opportunities, and if VW can leverage its brand strength while innovating rapidly, it could reclaim its status as a leading automaker in the region. 6. Heightened competition and innovation pressure. The automotive sector is witnessing an unprecedented influx of innovative players, especially in the EV space. As VW pivots towards China, the pressure to innovate will intensify. The company will need to not only keep pace with local competitors but also set trends in technology and design. This could lead to accelerated development cycles and an increased focus on customer-centric innovations, including smart mobility solutions. 7. Navigating political and economic risks. The political implications of VW's divestments, particularly concerning its Xinjiang plant, indicate that the company must navigate complex geopolitical landscapes. Future operations in China will likely involve careful management of public relations and compliance with both local and international laws regarding human rights. VW's ability to maneuver through these challenges could have significant implications for its brand reputation and operational stability. 8. Long-term sustainability goals. Volkswagen has set ambitious sustainability goals, aiming for carbon neutrality by 2050. The strategic shift towards partnerships and EV production aligns with these goals. As VW restructures its operations, it will likely prioritize sustainable practices across its supply chain, from sourcing materials to production processes. This commitment could enhance its reputation among environmentally conscious consumers and investors. 9. Impact on global supply chains. As VW focuses on China and divests European assets, the global automotive supply chain may experience shifts. Increased reliance on Chinese suppliers and local production could lead to a reconfiguration of supply chains, influencing how materials are sourced and vehicles are assembled. This shift may also spark further investments in localized supply chains to mitigate risks associated with global disruptions. 10. Consumer trends and preferences. Finally, VW's future will hinge on its ability to adapt to changing consumer preferences. As younger buyers increasingly prioritize sustainability and technology in their vehicle choices, VW will need to innovate in areas such as connectivity, user experience, and overall vehicle functionality. The success of its EV models will depend on how well the company can integrate these elements into its offerings. Conclusion. Volkswagen's strategic shift towards divesting European plants and focusing on Chinese partnerships signifies a pivotal moment in the company's history. The future will likely see VW navigating a complex landscape of competition, innovation, and regulatory challenges. By embracing electrification, fostering partnerships, and committing to sustainability, VW can position itself for success in an ever-evolving automotive market. The implications of these changes will resonate not only within VW but also across the global automotive industry as traditional players adapt to the realities of a rapidly changing environment.